out of apartment 5B.
You're now tuned into the Apartment 5B podcast, where we chop it up about hip-hop, R&B, sports, love and life. Hosted by Kill.
What's good? You're to an Apartment 5B podcast hosted by your man Kill. I got my squad with me, in effect, as always. Right now, it's just me and Veg. You know what I mean? What's good, Veg?
Kill laid off mad people. I'm just happy to still have a job. That's all I'm saying. You know, I didn't know what they did, but I'm an asset to the program. So.
Oh, man. Shout out to everybody. P is out. Kelv is on his way. People all over the place. But, yo, we going to keep the party rocking. And it's great because it's Strictly Hip Hop alumni right here. If people don't know, I used to run Strictly Hip Hop 93 to 2000. Left the show to Vague when I dipped out in 2000 to go get married. So he held it down. Were you 2000 or what, 2005?
Nah, man, I was quick. 2000 to 2002, but I also came back in like 2013 and did 3 years. Remotely.
Okay.
So, yeah. I guess I got my 5 years in. So.
All right. No doubt. Y'all know me. Let's jump right into it. So I got to shout out my man at the Kevlar1. And his tweet was, I want to pull this up and get it right. His tweet was, hip hop school back in session. He was talking about the last episode. Good looking for support, bro. But he said, also, can we just rate rappers' outputs from now on based on their hairstyles? # no perms. So for people who may not understand that, I never listened to DJ Quick because he had a perm. You know what I mean? In 1991 in Philadelphia, that's why I got Vague here for the Brooklyn, New York side of things. In Philly, niggas did not have perms. You know what I mean? Now, number one, before we even get started, I don't want no West Coast niggas talking no shit. This is no slight at y'all. I'm glad y'all rock perms. I get it. I'm just explaining that in 1990, when Quick came out, I was like, yo, this boy got a perm. I don't understand this. I'm not listening to it. So that's the running joke on Apartment 5 being on Twitter that I didn't rock with DJ Quick because he had a perm. If you know, my co-host Porsche loves DJ Quick. I've gotten into Quick's catalog. He's extremely dope. Yes, I was wrong for not rocking with him because he had a perm, but that is what the running joke is. But it had me thinking, what are some of the 5 dopest haircuts, hairstyles that have been in hip hop? Because to me, that's a very important thing. I get it now, like in 2025. I don't know if there's really anything that makes people stand out anymore, but I know Veg in our day, in the 80s and the 90s, like you knew people by their hair, like, and it was just a statement and everything like that. So that's what we're gonna be chopping it up about today: the 5 dopest and 5 of the wackest, or let me not say whack because I don't want people getting their feelings. 5 haircuts that we just wasn't fucking with at that time. So I'm gonna set us off real quick. For me, I gotta start with Big Daddy Kane. You know what I mean? The high top fade, the cameo cut. The quote is, I keep a fresh cameo cut every day. It's like that, y'all. That's just rhyming with biz. And I mean, back in the day, they used to call me Big Daddy Kill when I was in high school. Dark skin, high top fade and everything. Kane was my guy. If you rock with me, I always say Kane was the Rosa Parks for dark skinned niggas. Before Kane, I was too dark for shorties back in 88. Kane came out, the whole game changed. You know what I mean? So Kane is the Rosa Parks, and I love that iconic picture of Scoop Lover cutting his hair. You know what I mean? It was just something about the cameo cut. For people who don't know where that comes from, Cameo had the Word Up video. I forgot, what was the lead singer's name? Larry what?
Oh man, I can't remember. Larry.
It's Larry something. We'll find out. But forgive us, but that's where the cameo cut came from, because he had the high top joint and the Word Up video. So boys started calling it the cameo joint. Veg, you from Brooklyn, man. How iconic was that Big Daddy Kane high top, man?
It was with the stitches in the part, like
Yeah.
in the it was iconic because not only was his flat top or his cameo crazy, but Scoop and Scrap Lover kind of had the same, obviously same barber, but they had the same situation. So it was iconic, man. Like I wanted it bad. He's one of the main reasons why I even had a flat top. So
Right, right, right. I got my brother Kelvin in the building. Queens creeping in. What's good, bro?
I'm good, bro. Happy to be here. Love the topic. Wish I could have gotten earlier. Just a little hectic trying to get on.
Hey, bro, it's all good, man. I see you out there repping Morgan. Lovely as always.
Yeah.
Where'd you cop that from, bro?
Collegiate Lux. CollegiateLux.com, or if you're in the Maryland area, down to Inner Harbor. Dope stuff. Little dope. So he just got a deal with I think the MEAC, CIAA. He's got college joints all over the place. Fellow Morgan classmate. I think he's a little bit older than us. But he's at Morgan a couple years before us. But dope stuff. Dope stuff.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
For people who Cal usually has on the hip hop t-shirts, it's record labels, clubs, everything. But love that you repping Morgan Lovely tonight, bro. We just chopping up about Kane right now. You know what I mean? That was my number one on the list. Kane's
My
cameo
number
cut.
one.
And it's Larry Blackman. That was the lead singer of Cameo. Forgive us for forgetting. We getting old, y'all. You know what I mean?
But the
Yeah,
red
Kane.
cup.
Yeah, with the red cup, which was crazy. I never understood that to this day, but
Great.
neither here nor there. So, Veg, what was that cut like for you in Brooklyn, bro?
yeah, man, I think it was just such an iconic look. You know, him being from Brooklyn. Like I idolized Kane, so I wanted to, have a flat top. And what was dope about it was like no blemishes, right? Like no extra hair coming out of nowhere. It was like perfect. You know what I'm saying? And again, like I said before, having Scoop and Scrap basically have the same kind of sharp flat top. When they dancing together, they just look like a team. You know, it didn't look like a rapper with two dancers. It looked like three dancers and one of them raps sometimes. Like it was just dope. Like the whole look became with the flat tops, with the trench, with the leather trench coats, and like, come on, man, crazy.
Yeah. Cal, you from Queens, but what'd you think about the Kane cameo, man?
Oh, Kane. Blue flat top rules in '89. I mean, that was it. It was that's the icon. That's probably my number one too. Always sharp. The not only the flat top, as the Jay say, three lines in your eyebrow, trying
Trying to wild out.
You know what I'm saying? So, Kane's flat top was everything. It was dope, and like Vegas said, with Scoop and Scrap too. It was like a uniform. They were all in sync. Just complete style. No question.
Yeah, no doubt. Veg, who you got at number one for yours, bro? Or in no order, whoever you shouting out first.
Yeah, because I was thinking about like you said, iconic hairstyles in hip hop that's kind of synonymous with certain artists. So obviously I got a couple of different ones, but I'm gonna go with one that's unconventional. The ball head, Onyx, Tupac, DMX. Like with Onyx, I remember this one dude in high school where you started seeing it. I know y'all saw it a couple times. You started seeing it sprinkled throughout, but you're like, nah, maybe that's just a hairstyle. Maybe he's just doing that. There's one cat I know in class. I remember we was talking about that debut album, and obviously the ball head invasion and the mad face and all of that.
Attack of the ball head.
Right, attack of the ball head. Monday, this dude came to class. He didn't even say anything either. He just came to class, full ball head, black hoodie, Carhartt jacket. I was like, is this nigga in the group? Like, what? Like, I love the album too, but I am not cutting my head. Like, but you know what I'm saying? It was one of those things where I think, like with Kane, somebody does something that's so iconic that you mimic it because you think it's dope. And I think like Obviously, Onyx had that at a period of time, but there's a lot of people who did it because of Tupac also. So
Right, right, right. Yeah, and I had Onyx down for mine, but yo, Kelv Queens, talk about how was that? We'll talk about it at Morgan because I remember it's the same thing like you said, babe. Like niggas had hair on Monday and on Tuesday, everybody was bald. Like dead ass. There was no we gonna. I wasn't invited to the meeting, obviously, and plus I wasn't cutting my hair any goddamn way. I'm not.
I was gonna say.
I wasn't even. I mean, Apple had a bald head. Damon. I mean, everybody.
Everybody. I was gonna say that, Kill. I remember the party when Throw Your Gun comes on, and to your point, I remember Damon, Apple, Juka. They all have bald heads. Like, what is going on here? Everybody's in the club. It was crazy, so crazy. Yeah, no, but you know, here's the funny part. Onyx, they had like before they had the bald heads, before they were forming the group and stuff. So Frederick used to cut hair. He used to be a barber.
Right, right.
And but they had orange afros before they had a bald head.
Word?
Yeah, the word. Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they had orange afros. This picture's probably you could probably Google and stuff like that. So, but then this whole flip the script. I don't know. There was everyone was doing some wild shit back in the early '90s. So, the bald head. Yeah, no question. Bald head invasion was crazy.
Yeah, that joint was crazy, and like you said, Vegas, so many people who have bald heads. And I remember Onyx. Now I think Fred was trying to say he got Jordan to get the bald head. I'm like, come on, nigga, Jordan had the bald head.
I was like,
come on, dog. Like here we go with changing up history. Like nah, nigga. And I don't know if y'all remember this show, Spencer for Hire, like in the '80s.
Oh yeah.
Black man with a bald head. Hulk,
yep.
Avery Brooks. Like if you had a bald head in the '80s, like you was a badass. Like, cause it was almost like, damn, you got the balls to go bald. Like that nowadays, y'all, people watching younger people going bald is nothing. People like the whole thing with Jada. I forgot whose show he's on. Niggas like, yo, you just cut your hair to be bald, and you really still had a hairline? Like, no, niggas is bald because they don't got no hairline no more. You know what I mean? So they mad at Jada, but in the '80s, you didn't get a bald head. You had the George Jefferson. You do something, but you just did not get a bald head. So for Avery Brooks to have the bald head on Spencer for Hire, I remember watching that show just for him. I didn't give a fuck about the white boy, but it was like, yo, the boy Hawk, this boy thorough as hell. Like that, you just were officially thorough. If like prior to 1988, you was a black man of a certain age with a bald head, you was just, that lets you know, like, don't fuck with him. Like, just let him live. Like, whatever's going on, you just let him do what he want to do, because he is not to be fucked with. You was going to say something, Vag?
I was going to say, don't forget, there's a perfect description for Marvin Hagler.
Perfect.
No doubt. Yeah.
Another example.
Yep.
I remember Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard fighting. I'm a shorty. I may be 9, but I was just like, yo, this bald head nigga gonna win. Like it was that. I was like Dwayne on what's happening. Like I was like the helmets. Like, oh, you bald? Oh, you gonna win? I don't care who you fighting. I don't care. Niggas like my uncle. Like, nah, that's Sugar Ray Leonard. I'm like, nigga, he bald. I don't give a fuck who he is. He bald, and he gonna win. So it was like, yeah, that's a great Marvin Hagler. Like again, in 85, 86, if you were a black man of 30. And you had a bald head, just niggas left you alone. Just leave him be. Just let him do what he gonna do. Cal, who you got up for yours, man?
I'm gonna go a little different. I mean, I got obviously Kane. I got Onyx too, but I'm gonna stick with Queens. You know, from Queens. So Kid from Kid and Play.
Yeah.
The high top. It just seemed so perfect. It was, I was like you guys were talking about dancing earlier too. Just Kid Play, just fun, but just iconic hairstyle, just so dope.
Yeah. Kid is on mine too, man. Like kids join. I was telling Veg before you jumped on, they used to call me Big Daddy Kill back in high school. You know what I mean? Because my high top was like the size of Kids, but I was dark skinned. So it was bigger than Kane's, but it was like Kids. And I always wanted, my mom would never let me dye my hair because back in the day, Kid, what I thought was dope about his joint was his hair was dyed just on like the top level. It wasn't all of it. it was just like that top level that was like dyed, and my moms would not let me get my hair dyed. But I actually had Kid in Play because Play used to have this part through his box, and that was dyed, like it was just dyed in the part. So I thought that shit was fly too. Like, okay, this is dope. But nah, Mars wasn't having it, man. You know what I mean? Like, she was like, nah, nigga, you ain't dyeing your hair, so you can save that for that. Next joint I got, you know what I mean? One of my followers on IG was like, man, your kicks and your low, you like the overlord of fresh, like EST. So I'm like, yeah, that's my hashtag, the overlord of fresh. So I got to shout out Philly's EST. Like you said, the style of my hair, like the new wave afro. EST's the unusual fellow. You know what I mean? The ill Gumby joint. You know what I mean? Now, I was always scared to get the Gumby because my hair was so high. I was like, if I cut half off and it don't look right, I'm going to have to start all over again. You know what I mean? So I was always like, nah, I can't get the Gumby. But and I also got a tag in Bobby Brown, B Brown, on the R&B side of things with the ill Gumby. You know what I mean? Because I think B Bob and EST, to me, unless y'all can remember, they were the only two boys who was really rocking the Gumby like that. You know what I mean?
That was it. Yeah, it was
not a lot of people. Yeah, not a lot of people had the Gumby, and B Brown had the parts on the side and everything. So definitely EST. If people don't know, look that up. Original styling. To me, Five Mike album is probably Philly biased, but yeah, I mean, everybody know Greatest Man Alive, Funky Dividends, but EST a very, very, very dope MC that was coming out of Philly. Vague, who you got up next, bro?
All right, I'm gonna move it up a little bit, and mainly because it wasn't like this hairstyle didn't exist in hip hop, but I think he popularized it to a point where it felt like every rapper that was coming out had it, and a generation of kids had it. But that's Lil Wayne with the locks. Like, it was amazing to see how. At first, I didn't see it. I was just thinking, it was him. We seen locks before in hip hop, but then you started seeing so many artists drop. Even guys like Future, who ain't really have locks, and then all of a sudden now he got them, and a couple of people, and it was like, damn, Lil Wayne really made locks popular in hip hop.
Yeah.
I also got him on the whack list for his locks snap. The shit broken, fucking half afro, died, like. I was like, when I was writing this, I was like, well, shit, who had some whack? Oh shit, Lil Wayne, right?
Yeah.
But he
man.
Kicked it off though.
Yeah, that's dope. Cal, who you got up next, bro?
I got Redman. The blowout bro. Early 90s. He was. I don't remember. I can't remember anybody having that before him. That I could think of. Just the real shape up. You know what I'm saying? Tape aside. I've got the pick in the hair and stuff like that. So it just was just a dope style, different from obviously the fades and stuff like that. So I just thought it was different. Yeah. Stood out.
Yeah, it's funny because I had read too, and I remember being at Morgan '92 freshman year, and it was all Jersey niggas who had froze. You know what I mean?
True.
I remember my homegirl Toya from Jersey was like, nah, they call that the blowout. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, exactly, from Jersey. You know what I mean? But she was like, nah, we call that the blowout up here. And I was like, oh, okay, that shit dope. Like you said, niggas didn't really have the nappy joint. Like, you know what I mean? Like Red's joint was on some nappy shit. You know what I mean? But it went with Red's personality. You know what I mean? Like it fit him. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna go to somewhere else, but before I go there, I want to shout out Maxwell because I had him down for his fro. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
A lot of R&B boys didn't have no wild fro like that. For a while that was his look. Like I was shocked when he kind of got whatever the braids or whatever for the Embryo album. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, damn, bro, like that. Like Questlove, that the afro was it for like 10, 15 years out of the roots. So for Maxwell to switch it, I was like, that's crazy. Now, Vague, like you, I had dreads, but for me, it was DOS effects. You know what I mean? Like I thought
Yes.
Dre's had the dopest locks. I used to always want locks, but I never had the patience to just let my hair grow. Shout out Gnu, because I felt like Gnu at Morgan when he was there, he had the illest locks. You know what I mean? Like his joints was
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't know who did his hair. No question. Yeah. No doubt.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I mean, like Gnu had the illest locks. Like this nigga was a loctician before that was even a job. Like, you said, I don't know who did this nigga's hair, but this nigga's locks look dope every year for fucking 4 years of college or whatever like that. But yeah, like Drazy's locks, like, and just like you said, Vague, just locks in general. And there was so many. I mean, Buster's locks. You know what I mean? Like everybody just had them joints. And then the style I really wanted was the joints like special ed dancers. I forgot what their name was. I know God, like Ziggy had them when you would have the fade up the hair, so you didn't have the full locks, but you just had the fade and then just the top with locks. You know what? Jay had it. JMJ had it in the Av video.
Oh yeah, Av video, right? Yep.
Yeah, because I remember he pulled the hat off and like shook his head, and the dreads was like that. Like that's what I always wanted to do. I just wanted to have a hat on and take it off and just shake the dreads, or whatever like that. So even those dreads, and for people watching, you can go back to the Case of the PTA video. Like that's how Buster's dreads was. You know, it was like a fade, and then the dreads came and everything like that. So I definitely had that joint up. Vague, who else you got, bro?
Yeah, don't forget the hole in the hat with the dreads.
Coming out of it, right?
Who else I had? The Caesar fade 360 waves, half moon part, Raekwon, Nas.
Yep.
Nas even went back to it now.
Right.
I just saw that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just a classic look, you know, no matter what way you do it, whether you get, I had both, right? I used to get tapered all the time, a fade or whatever with the half moon. I had an idea for your cover for this show also, Kill, because I know we all got pictures with some of these hairstyles.
Oh, trust me, bro. I was gonna say, give them to me because I want to drop them in, like throughout the video. Like throughout this video, I'm gonna be putting it in because I know some young boys ain't gonna know what we talking about. You know what I mean? They ain't gonna go do the research. So I'm gonna edit it up. So when we say Kane, it's the picture of Kane and Scoob. And when I'm talking about me, I'm gonna have some pictures. So if you got some pictures, send them over and I'll drop them in the joint.
I probably got one because when I was probably in elementary school, I used to get half moon part all the time. Like that was my look. The half moon part, but the picture I got was when I was like, I was gonna get extra spicy. I was like, yo, give me $sign. The barber was hyped to do that shit too. He put the 2 parts here with the $sign. I was feeling like straight money when I went to school. But yeah, you know that look is like clean. You know what I'm saying? You could casual clothes. You could be in sportswear. You could be in a suit. Like it just matched everything back then. I think Nas and Ray really like that was like their signature look for a while. So.
Yeah, and it's funny you said that, bro, because I was thinking the thing that was so ill to me about Nas was this nigga always kept a fade, even when fades got played out, and niggas would just get a Caesar. That nigga never strayed from the formula. That nigga still had a fade. It never changed. To the point, yo, here the wild part, man. The Nas joint I got, the Nas statue I got the joint. You know what I mean? He got the joint. He got the half moon part. You know what I mean? So it's like, yo, even shout out to Scartosio with the ill statues or whatever, but yeah, you know what I mean? Like that to me, that part is just iconic. And like you said, Ray held it down too, but like I never forget. I would be, because people watching, I'm from Philly. Like I swear we birthed dope barbers and everything. I cut. Well, I used to cut. So when I'm seeing people, I'm always like thinking about their hair, because I remember always thinking all through that time, I'm like, yo, Nas, we ain't gonna let that fade die, bro, and just get a dark fade, get a joint, an even joint. You know what I mean?
Right.
And he never did. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah, that's dope. This nigga kept the style so long and shit came back.
Shit came back, right?
That's how long this nigga kept the style. He stayed true to himself so long that now it's popular again to get a fade again. You know what I mean? But that half moon part, like you said, and that's definitely iconic for Ray too. So now I definitely feel you on that. Kel, who you got up next?
I got Kwame.
Mm.
So back to Queens. The same thing, the dye in the hair, just the high top again, but the dye in the hair was just unique. It stood out. Um, Obviously, Kwame had his own style, polka dot, all that stuff. So I just thought he was just dope little twist. Sort of like Kid, but with the dye in the hair and stuff, it just stood out.
Yeah, bro. I had Kwame too, man, because the first time I seen the video for the man we all know and
Man,
love.
with love. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and I saw the joint again, like I said with Kid and Play, I was obsessed with getting my hair dyed. So him having to dye in the front, I was like, oh, yo, mom, you gotta let me get this one. And the wild part is that's worse. If she wasn't gonna let me just get the top dyed, she damn sure ain't let me get the whole front dyed. You know
Oh
what I
hell
mean?
no. No.
So, but yeah, Quam shit was dope. It was definitely like iconic. He got a new action figure out now. And of course, that blonde streak is right in it. And like I guess that's the thing I do want to ask. So we on pause for a second, but like, what do y'all think happened to like iconic looks like that? You know what I mean? Like how Kwame's coming out with an action figure. The action figure got the blonde streak. If you do Nas, you got to have the half moon part. Like, do people still have, I guess, an iconic look anymore? And if not, like, why? Or do we just not have hairstyles that's like that? Like, you figure back in the day, it's cool for us to look at now, but I really want to know what our parents were thinking when I came in the house with a big damn box on top of my head. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, this what we paid for? Like, or now you got a Gumby. Now you got half of your hair off. Like, bro, what do you do? Like, I just really think our parents had to be like, yo, I don't know what the fuck is going on with these kids. They wearing Adidas with no shoestrings. Like, nigga, I paid for them shoestrings. Like, what are y'all doing? But, Vay, why do you think there's really no iconic hairstyles or haircuts anymore?
I don't know. I think it might be a reflection of the music because I think there might be some like younger cats like what's his name? The cat that passed away.
Oh, the
Tessacion.
Oh, Extrastacion. Yeah.
He kind of had a different style a lot. Like the tips were colored, and I saw people or kids or whatever who kind of had the same hairstyle, but it wasn't widespread. I think for us it was different because we were so close to the years of like the 5 elements of hip hop and fashion being just as important and labeled as hip hop. Where I feel like now, even though Lil Wayne, influenced a lot of kids with the locks, there's all this, rock star dressing stuff, and we didn't really do that. Everything was from the hood. Like, yo, it's hip hop. It's from the hood. It's our style, and the rappers are doing it. You know what I'm saying? Whereas with this, it's a little bit of a mixed bag. Like, this dude got an afro. This dude got dreads. This dude got a bald head.
Right.
Like, it's really no rhyme or reason. I just think the style or the way we looked at fashion and the access, right? Like, we seen these guys in videos. So like I said, with Kane, right? Like the high top fade is already perfect on him. Then he got the nice leather custom made Dapper Dan Gucci trench coat.
CM joint. Yeah.
With the chains, it was a statement in itself, and the music was good. So I kind of feel like when we think about the dope rappers, right? Like, I love Benny the Butcher, but when he take off his fucking hat, he's Homie the Clown. Like, I know I ain't the only one that saw that shit. When I was just like,
Oh my god!
I think you need to stop talking about who he is, dog.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? And but that would have never happened, right? Like, you wouldn't have saw Kane with that flat top and you look down, there's a hole in the motherfucker. Like, no. So I don't think it matters as much anymore.
All right, Cal, what you think?
It's funny you go back what you said about your parents. When I got to Morgan, Kill, I had a design in my head. I had like I think I had like Linden Boulevard something, And my mom's like, "You go to
In your
college?"
head?
Like, you in my head, I had a just like Big was said. My ball was nice, so he do all type of all kind of design. I had Batman in my head at one point. I had Spider-Man designs, and so I had like linens and stuff like that. Mom was like, "You can't go to college like that. You gotta cut all your hair off." So
What?
yeah, she's like, I didn't do it. I kept the design. I went to school like that. But I was like, so to your point about that. But I think too, the creativity come with Big was in music. I think lacking creativity in music, lacking creativity in hairstyles too, and just fashion too. So I think, or it's a copy and other artists on, I'm a rhyme like this person. Same thing here.
Right.
I'm not gonna do anything original because I'm not creative, So I think you got a lot of that going on.
Right. Now, I mean, I agree with both of you. I think it's all those things. I mean, it's like when you're living in a time where nobody knows what to do, they're looking at somebody to do the new thing. You know what I mean? And somebody has to be that originator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So something that Kwame had to say, yo, I'm gonna dye my hair this way and not that way. And something made boys get locks before everybody had locks. You know what I mean? So I almost feel like your haircut was like part of your fashion statement. You know what I mean? Like that, it all, like you said, Vegas, not just Kane's cameo cut, it's everything. It's the MCM, trench coat, it's the sneakers, it's the rope chain, it all goes together. It's like with Beat by Dre's, when they first came out, it was a fashion statement. Like a lot of people didn't even care if they were good headphones. It just was like, yo, this goes good with my outfit. And I knew we was fucking damn the hell when niggas was like matching their headphones to their outfits. Like, this where we at now? Like, yo, I gotta get the Beats by Dre. Niggas may not even be listening to music. They just wanted them up on their hat like that just because it literally was, headphones became an accessory. It was that important. And I think like that's the thing. Like, so I do think not having the creativity in music, and then I think I think everybody is so hard right now. It's kind of like how we used to dance. Now we don't dance no more. Like, people are just too hard now, like to even come up with something new or anything like that. So I think that that's a big thing too. Now, this joint is kind of cheating, but I'm still going to call it because it's hair. And I'm going to go free waist beard. You know what I mean? It's not a haircut, but it is hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Freeway, for people who aren't from Philly, I think that was the first time people saw and Free never had a big beard. Free just had a beard that was just more than what we were used to seeing. You know what I mean? And for people watching, if you don't understand what I'm saying, in the 90s, the average person who had a beard had an Ice Cube beard. You know what I mean? Like, the beard was on your face. It was like a 5 o'clock shadow, but a little bit more. You think Lawrence Fishburne and Boys in the Hood, you know what I mean? Like, everybody kind of had a low Anthony Anderson, blackish type low beard to your face. And I think Free was the first boy who really had a beard. Like Jay said, got to kill witnesses because Free beard sticking out. You know what I mean? So I think that was like the first time a lot of people really got put on or really saw a Philly beard like that. And shout out to Free, because Free was the first boy who I saw who had his own beard butter. You know what I mean? And this was maybe like 2005, 2006, something crazy, like years ago. And I didn't even have a beard yet. I didn't even know what the beard butter was for. I was like, damn, I didn't even know you needed nothing to put in your beard. I thought you just grew a beard. You know what I mean? So shout out to Free for that. And it's crazy because Thought seems to get all the love now. You know what I mean? When you talk about a Philly beard, people just go to Thought, which is duly right. Thought has an ill beard. You know what I mean? But I just think, we got to remember that Free was like the OG of this whole, like, getting the Philly beard out like that. You know what I mean? And the crazy part is, Vay, tell me this. When you were at Morgan, I'm sure it was still the same. I think one of the things that I loved was you could go on the bridge and for the most part, you could tell, oh, they from PG. You know what I mean? Because they got temper tapes. They had the socks, the tall socks on. There was a look. Oh, you could tell those niggas is from Jersey. Like I feel like Jersey and Brooklyn kind of dressed alike with the Carhartt and the stuff like that. You could be like, oh, that boy from Philly, he got a beard. Or he got a dark fade or a shape up or whatever. And I think another thing that's kind of hurt is like now we all look the same. I think if we went to Morgan and I stood on the bridge, I wouldn't be able to be like, oh, nah, he from Brooklyn. Oh, no, he PG. Because guess what, Kel? Nobody had temp tapes back in those days but niggas from PG or DC.
That's correct.
Now, every nigga's in Philly. Everybody gets a temp tape.
Everybody.
There was a time where if you had a beard like mine, you just knew they were from Philly. It wasn't even no thought process. I was at my man's daughter's birthday party. Nigga was there with a big beard. I said, yo, what part of Philly you from? He said, nigga, I'm from Boston. I'm like, Boston? Yo, in my head, I'm like, yo, why you got a beard then? Like, if you got a beard, why you got a beard? Now you can't do it. And I just feel like all those lines are now blurred. No one has a look anymore. And I miss that. I miss PG having a look. I miss New York having a look and Philly having a look. And we don't have that anymore. And that's crazy. That's crazy. And it was funny. I was in DC talking to some MPD officers came through my studio, and everybody had beards. And they was like, "Oh, where you from?" I was like, "Philly." They was like, "Oh, with the beard." I'm like, "Nigga, y'all all got beards." You know what I mean? Like y'all all do. But I do miss that. So I definitely had to shout out Free for that on the beard tip. Vague, who else you got?
All right, I'm gonna do one for the ladies. Lil Kim with the colorful wigs.
Yeah,
I was at Morgan, and I remember when the Crush on You video came out, and I thought it was ill for a video, like to change up. She had the different color furs to go with it and all of that. But then I started seeing locals, and I was
in Baltimore,
just at getting a chicken box, like nothing else matched, just fucking blue wig, and I was just like, damn, this shit is powerful, but please don't do that. But I think it was iconic for her at the time because it was just creative for a video, and she did a couple of things, as we know, that was like creative and iconic for Kim. But I think don't get me wrong, I did see some ladies do it in the clubs and stuff like that in DC where it looked hot. Like, wasn't used to seeing the neon wig chick, that I'm definitely gonna dance with. Definitely gonna dance with you. But you know what I'm saying? It just, even though I know some ladies, like my wife might be like, oh, that shit was hot in the video. But
don't do that shit in the streets.
Right. Just seeing the influence was enough for me to feel like Kim was doing something that was like impacting the game. So
that's dope. Kel, who you got up next, bro?
I'm a follow Vegas lead with the ladies. FC Light. I thought I didn't even know the style of haircut, but I just remember there's so many girls rocking that. I guess you get it bangs in the front and just the hair down. I mean, everybody was popping that hairstyle, which is she just set a whole trend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And with you with MC Light, I'm gonna follow y'all lead, go with Salt and Pepper. You know what I mean? With I think they call it the asymmetrical or whatever. I don't even know what that joint is. Yeah. And the funny part, if I'm not mistaken, Pepper said she was in the mirror trying to cut her hair. She fucked it up. So that's why I was like, one side is this way and the other side was low. And I think Salt was like, nah, we gonna just have to freak it or somebody. So what I also love by that is that how you turn it, and again, it's just a piece of hip hop, like how you take something that's fucked up and then make it a style and make it so popular. Now you have girls everywhere cutting half their hair off to have it like that. And it's like, damn, this was all a fuck up. And we literally are trendsetters now, like with that. And it's just like the power that the people had. So, definitely I want to shout out Salt and Pepper for that. Another joint I got is, and I mean, I know it's not hip hop, but it's kind of hip hop. Iverson's Cornrows. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I mean, Vague right here. Cal, I swear to God, Vague will have a fucking a Caesar on Monday, and I swear to you, in a month, this nigga will have cornrows. I don't know how his hair grows that fast. His hair grows that fast, but Iverson, I just felt like once he did that, like it was a wrap. It just took off everybody. D'Angelo rocking cornrows. I want to say D was probably around the same time because Iverson got drafted. So D had it first. D had it first because Iverson got drafted in '96. He had the regular cut. So D'Angelo actually was rocking the cornrows first. So shout out to D for that. But once Iverson got it, it was just a wrap. It was like anything Iverson did. You talk about a fashion cultural icon from the shooting sleeve. That nigga had niggas who couldn't shoot wearing a shooting sleeve. Like, that's how iconic this dude was. And I remember, Kel, when we was at Morgan, there was only one person. Kel just froze up. It's crazy because I need him for this. But it was this one shorty, Anisha, out of Brooklyn. Vague, she was the only shorty on the whole entire campus who had a tattoo. Kel, you remember Anisha from Brooklyn?
Oh, yeah, Anisha Jackson. Yeah, yep.
She was the only one with a tattoo. I want to see she had like a Black Panther on her leg or something like that.
Yeah.
So here's the wild part. Iverson comes in the league at 96. We're graduating 96, 97. Kelv, I didn't know nobody with a tattoo except Anisha. You go back to Morgan after 1998 when Iverson started getting tatted out, nigga, everybody had tattoos.
You know what? You're right. I didn't think about that. That's true.
Nobody had tattoos when we was at Morgan, bro.
That's
Nobody.
Crazy. Oh, you know what? No, I think you're right. Yeah.
And I mean, if they did, it was something on the low. It wasn't nothing that nobody knew about or anything like that. But then you go after Iverson, and I won't hold you. That was it. They had, I think it was 98, the year we drafted Larry Hughes. They had a watch party down at whatever the stadium was. They changed the names all the time. I can't remember. And that's when Iverson, because when Iverson got drafted, he only had the Georgetown Bulldog. That's all he had. Then he showed up like at the draft party, and the nigga had all the tattoos now. And I swear, I was like, I'm getting a tattoo. That night, I was like, nigga, I'm going to get a tattoo right now because that nigga just came out tatted down. I was like, oh, I'm getting a tattoo. Then that's why I got it. My first tattoo was this music note on this. I was like, I'm getting on my left arm like Iverson. Like, that was the influence that he had. I mean, when you just look at everything AI did, you talk about we could just do a cultural icon documentary on Iverson alone. You know what I mean? The NBA going to Rucker Park, that's Iverson. Them commercials he had with Jadakiss about the crossover. I mean, just everything that he did. That's a documentary. So, Veg, who else you got left on the good note before we get to the bad joints?
I would say, even though it wasn't like a hairstyle that, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's somebody who did it, but a hairstyle that was uniquely him, I would say ODB braids. It somehow just matched his character. It was almost like a highlight of seeing him. But yeah, like in the Wu, they all kind of had some braids, but I think ODB stood out to me because I just never seen somebody hair braided like that, like just braided up. It's like it was braided up to be a ponytail, but they never tied the braids, so it was just like out. And it just went with his style of rapping. And honestly, anytime I've ever seen anybody with anything remotely close to that, I'm like, oh, you got the ODB braids? Like,
right.
That's the only thing I could think of, so.
Yeah, no doubt. Cal, who you got up next?
My last one, like I said, I have beat Kane as well, but Tretch. So almost the same thing with the braids. Tretch braids, they were more stringy, I guess you can say, than, like think about D'Angelo or think about Iverson. They was just more, I don't even know how to describe them, but I remember a lot of people rocking those braids after him too. There was kind of this, that was his staple for years until he went to the Baldy, years later and stuff. But
yeah, man, that's crazy, man, with Tretch. Some of the people I got left, I got Pac and Juice. You know what I mean? I thought that I don't even know what you would call that cut.
Oh yeah, it's like
But
steps, right? It's like steps. Or something.
yeah,
Yeah, like he
yeah,
said.
like I don't know what you would call it, but I was like, yo, that's an ill joint. I ain't never seen nobody with that joint.
Right.
Mr. Long's high top. The thing about Mr.
Okay.
Long's high top
Mm.
was it was almost high, but it was like a part of it was lower than the next level. It was almost like you said, almost
Yeah.
like stair steps, but it was different.
Right.
Um, Rest in peace to True Boy Dave from Daylight. When Dave came out, like his kind of
Uh,
half nappy dread with the parts in it, that shit was ill to me.
yep.
Shout out to CL Smooth Shape Up. CL Smooth to me may have had the best shape up in all of hip hop, and he had the beard. That's a good example. For people who don't know what I'm talking about with the beards in the 90s, just go look at CL Smooth. That's the perfect person with the beard. And to me, that was the perfect shape up. Like if you had the whole shape up and it connected and everything like that, that was dope. CL Smooth had the sharpest shape up. Shout out to Jimmy Jackson. I know y'all remember him from Ohio State, played for the Dallas Mavericks. That nigga stayed
Always.
with his shape up.
Stay with the shape. Bro.
Him and Jawan
Clean.
Howard. Like
Yep.
Jawan
Oh, both
Howard
of
is
them.
right there with Nas with the fade in the shape up. Jawan Howard, I think nobody has a better shape up than me. No one in life has ever seen me without shape up. Jawan and me are running a race right now because Jawan, I'm like, this nigga has always, and while I always respected Jawan, who was the one nigga from the Fab Five who ain't go bald? Jawan
It was
Howard.
Jawan. That's true.
You ain't fucking up my hairline, and that nigga has had the same cut for the past 30 years. Shout out Jawan Howard with the ill cut. Here's two people I gotta talk about because it's almost a flip, and they're all out of Queens. LL Cool J, because this nigga always had a hat on. I did not know what LL Cool J's head looked like, literally for 15 years. Okay. Now people who watch like SV&I or whatever the hell he's on, Law and Order, whatever he does, now we all know he got a bald head. Yo, LL came out in 1984, and this nigga always had a hat on until 1999 when he starred in that movie about that shark. That was the first time that we saw him without a hat on, and it was like, oh shit. Because nobody knew what LL had under that hat. Was he bald? Did he have a cut? I've never seen a rapper never take off his hat in 15 years. Now, whether it was a Kango or fitted, even on that show In the House, he had a hat on the whole time. You never saw LL say
Big floppy head.
never. Never.
That's true.
And similar to that, but not as bad, is Run DMC. You know what I mean? You seldomly ever saw them without a hat. You saw Running Crush Groove. I think Sheila E. took off the hat for a second or whatever. She said, let me hold that hat when she was trying to rap or whatever. But for the most part, you never saw Run DMC without a hat on. So it's the flip of just being that dedicated to never taking off your hat.
Until
What's
what am I thinking of? The King.
When they got bald heads.
They got bald heads. Yeah, they got bald heads. Right.
Yeah, when they got bald heads, they had to do that. But for all those years, they were committed to never taking off their hats. And that's a hell of a commitment right there, to just never take off your hat ever. You know what I mean? And no photo shoots or nothing. Like, so yeah, but babe, what were you about to say?
I kind of had something similar with because I had the hat down, and I was mentioning LL, and I know he probably in recent years said when he started to go bald, it was one of the reasons why he was like not going to take the hat off, because he didn't like the bald head, he didn't embrace it. He was already going bald, so he just kept wearing.
And he got to wear his head too, so it's like that's the other thing too.
But look, I gave him the bonus because I'm like, okay, well, people were wearing those hats because of you, and I get why you kept wearing it. But the bad example of somebody wearing a hat is fucking Memphis Bleak, because when that nigga takes off his hat, it's like, is the top of your head like fucking hat shaped? Because you know how your hat has that top, but your head is in that shit. This nigga head is shaped like it. And I was like, oh, he's wearing it because his fucking head is crazy. Like, he still wear the hat to this day now, but
he got to.
Go to his IG though. There's a couple like graduation pictures where you're like, oh, what's that?
Yeah, it's crazy, but Veg, that's a good point too. It's just like the hat is damn near almost as synonymous as the cut. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? LL with the Kango, Run DMC with the Godfather hats, you know what I mean? Whether it be a fitted. I remember 92 Kelv and Veg, you probably remember this too. You remember when Jazzy Jeff had the starter joint? And he'd be like, first you buy the hat, then you bend the hat, then you
Good hat,
fold
then
the
you
hat.
fold it. Yep.
That dude had the whole
yeah.
commercial on how you rock a hat or whatever like that. And just the hat. So that's a good call because the hat is just as big as the hairstyle. Now, let's talk about some of these bad haircuts. Again,
Oh man.
let me put this out there again for anybody from the West Coast watching. I'm not throwing shots. I'm not dissing y'all. I'm just explaining why I thought DJ Quick having a perm in 1991 was whack. Nobody over here had perms. I had no idea. Here's the thing, y'all. I don't have any cousins from LA. I didn't go to fucking Houston for the summers. I spent every summer in Brooklyn, New York. That's where my cousins lived. It was Philly and Brooklyn. That's all I knew. So I'm sorry that I never went to Houston and saw niggas with a perm. I never saw it. So when I see Quick, who's from Compton, I'm just like, whoa, like why boy got a perm? You know what I mean? So again, I'm not saying it's a bad haircut because I know niggas are really sensitive now in 2025. And with Special A said NWA ruined rap, and now this niggas was getting death threats over there. Like niggas had to have a whole Zoom call to try to save this nigga's life. Like goddamn, it was just his opinion, and niggas is threatening his life because he said NWA ruined hip hop. You don't remember this, Vay?
Nah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look this up
yep.
on YouTube. Like Special S said it on maybe Drink
Drink
Champs.
champs. Just drink champs.
Next thing you know, Corrupt is on the phone. Everybody on Zoom calls, and yo, you better watch yourself when you come out here. Like, god damn, this nigga can't even go to Cali no more because he just said NWA ruined hip hop. Like, it's just an opinion, y'all. Like, so that's why I'm like, look, y'all, I'm in LA a lot now. I don't want no smoke. I don't need no. I'm good. I'm just trying to explain why I thought it was whack. Now that I've been to LA and people have taught me, nah, Kill, having a perm, like you was the man. Cool. I didn't get that memo. Maybe you should have put that shit in the album cover. Like, look, this shit, you know what I mean? It's cool out here, y'all. I didn't fucking know. So there's that. So I'm going with DJ's Quick perm as a bad cut. Vay, who do you have up outside Memphis Bleak's head as a bad cut?
Actually, I was a big fan of West Coast hip hop back in the days, so I liked seeing the Jerry Curl with the hat because it's synonymous with gangster rap. But if you had that shit after Ice Cube cut his and Eazy-E became a fro, something was wrong because even they was like, all right, with the Jerry Curl, we had our moment. That was it. That was the 80s to them. You know what I'm saying? That's equivalent to you ever saw that Chris Rock skit? Hold on, I'm trying not to laugh as I say it. My my father still has a flat top. You ever see that shit?
Nah, I ain't seen that.
It was on a Chris Rock show, and it was about
Okay, yeah.
it was about this kid whose pops just never let the flat top go. So there's all these scenarios of him coming to pick him up from school, and the kid is embarrassed because they like, yo, your father still got a flat top. It was the funniest shit in the world, but we all been through that when we see like, like, damn, you bought an 8-ball jacket, like new, like crackheads still have those. Like that belong to crackheads now. So it was like that with the Jerry Curl. Like when I was into the gangster rap, it was like, yo, that's what them niggas like out there. But man, after Ice Cube cut his joint and Easy had the dope big fro and all of that, it was like, who still has a Jerry Curl? Like,
right.
So yeah,
I just want to know where the memo came down. Like this is over. Like was niggas in LA and they like you paying attention? You like, yo man, ain't as many niggas with Jerry curls no more. Like you had to swap me counting niggas. Like okay, it used to be every one, like 8 out of every 10 had a Jerry curl. We down to 1 out of every 10. Like how did that shit go out of style? Because I always thought Cube cut his on because did he become Muslim? By the I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he was practicing or not, but I know like he became very big into the FOI. So I thought that's why he cut the Jerry curl or whatever like that. Because I want to
It
say
was.
niggas for life. I want to say Easy still had a Jerry curl
He
in
did.
90 with
He
niggas
did.
for life.
Yeah.
He did.
Did.
By the time he was, but by the time Dre was on Death Row and he was
Like that's when he got the fro.
he was like transitioning. You kind of saw he had a furrow under the hat,
Right.
and then he
I
kind
think
of mocked it a little bit. But you know what's funny? You're right, Kill, because in New York there wasn't like no memo when shit went out.
Right,
You
it just
saw
did.
somebody getting snapped on you, like, oh, that shit over. Let me take my coat back. Like, you know what
I
I'm saying?
can't rock them no more. Right.
Right.
And it's funny because you find out in hip hop, like, because your lyrics is played like 8-ball jackets. It's like, wait a second, nigga, I got an 8-ball. Nigga, I ain't getting out. I spent
Right.
$400 on this jacket. Now you tell me it's played out? Like, come on, y'all. It's funny you say that, Veg, because all through Morgan, I was always in the low and hill figure until Fat Farm came out and hip hop people started having brands. And I was like, oh, well, I want to support the hip hop brands. You know, I was on my, I don't want to give my money to the white man, the black man over here, Russell. And, you know, here the crazy part, Mark Echo, white man. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, but it's hip hop. You know, PNB, Post No Bills, you know, God, what was my joint? 555 Soul, that was my shit too. Like, so I was doing all of that. But what I realized was these hip hop brands was getting played out so quickly. So you would have a whole Fat Farm, you know what I mean? That's your whole closet. And then like in 2 years, nobody wearing it no more. It's like, yo, I just spent like $3,000 on Fat Farm. Like, yo, and you know, we still in college. So I'm like, yo, this wardrobe got the last, you know what I mean? And it hit when Jay was doing Rockaware. Because all I had was all Rockaware. Everything was Rockaware. I'll never forget. I went to one of my teen centers and my kids was like, yo, Mr. Kill, we can ask you a question? I was like, yeah, come on, y'all. We talk. Like, this is what we do. They was like, yo, why the fuck you still wearing Rockaware? And I was like, oh, word? They was like, yo, that shit played out, man. I was like, oh, damn. And that's what got me back in the low because I'm like, low never got played out. You know what I mean? Like, I tell niggas, you could look at any HBCU homecoming on the East Coast from 1990 to 2025. Certain things are going to be synonymous. Polo, Timbs, and Jordans. It may be how tight your polo is or how loose it was in the 90s, but those three things, you could look at any pictures throughout the history of any, I don't know about Midwest, but East Coast, HBCU homecomings from 1990 to 2025, Jordan, Timbs, and Polo. That is still synonymous today. So that's what got me back in the low because I was like, I can't keep buying a new wardrobe every goddamn 2 years when stuff get played in. So yeah, Veg, that's the only reason why. Because you couldn't tell me I wasn't killing it in my Rockaware. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, I'm good. Like, I didn't know. And it took the kids to let me know, like, nah, Mr. Kill, nah, that ain't it no more, man. Yeah, I mean, Kelp, what's a bad cut for you, man?
So this artist, you know this artist, Kill. You probably know this artist too a little bit big, maybe. I mean, he wasn't a big artist, but his hairstyle was so awful watching the video. Def Jeff. So it just wasn't faded. It was no.
Def Jeff. Because I remember the name. He was the West Coast, like
West Coast.
D.
Yes. He got what's the name in the video? D from Pump It Up, D Barnes, who Dre.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, she's in the video.
So you said it wasn't faded because from what I remember, he had the cut. What we was just talking about, like the fade up the hair and then the locks on the top. It was whack.
He did no. You know what? He had the locks that after that. Before that, his first, I think it's called "Give It to Me," the song. There is no fade. It's just, I don't know what is going on. Like, yo, where's the fade? But it's like it's just bald, straight. It's kind of like a flat top, but there's no fade around the top.
I see it right here.
You see it?
Oh man, yeah, I see it.
I'm like, he was whack anyway, but I'm like, this guy is makes the song even whacker. It was just awful. I was like, terrible.
Yo, you know the funny thing is, man, I never listened to a Def Jeff album, but I liked them on We All in the Same Game. Like
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yep.
the way
Yeah.
he came out, them niggas came out like the projects, like with Leon
Yep.
and fucking and Franklin, like, and
And
they was
Frank.
doing
Yep.
their dances and everything. So,
Dope.
but
Yep. Yep.
yeah,
Dope. I
that
agree with that.
haircut is horrible. That haircut is nasty. That's a nasty haircut right there. I'm gonna go back to what Veg was saying, the Jerry curls. The first time I saw NWA, my old head, I'm a freshman in high school. My man Jerome is a junior, and Jerome was like the coolest nigga in the world. He was like, we was on Happy Days. That nigga was the fucking Fonz. This nigga was like, yo, you gotta check out NWA. I'm like, yo, who that? He showed me the tape cover, and I was like, these niggas got Jerry curls, my nigga. He was like, man, I don't give a fuck about that. Press play, and then you hear Straight Outta Compton, and it's good, but it was just like, yo, what the fuck? And me and one of my West Coast people was going back and forth. I said, bro, you got to understand. There were no rappers on the East Coast with a Jerry curl. We had two. We had Curtis Blow, and that shit was over by 85. And we had Dougie Fresh. And it really, Dougie was like more almost like an S curl. Like he had the fade.
He had the fade.
That
Yep.
zero, but then he had the S curl. And that was done by 88. By 89, when he had that summertime video, Doug had a regular fade. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm always telling people, you got to understand, nobody had Jerry curls over here after 1986 in hip hop. Maybe Ready to the World was still creeping. There was some R&B shit. Guys still kind of had that S curl fade, but it still was. If you look at the cover of Guys the Future album, they had Jerry curls, but they were shaped up, so it wasn't the same as a drippy. I almost looked at that as an S curl versus a straight up Jerry curl. Like, I don't know if Teddy came to your crib and he put his head back if he was leaving a stain type thing. I don't know. Maybe I didn't have an S curl either, but I just wanted West Coast people to understand that this was strange to me, that people were coming. One, when I heard Straight Outta Compton, I don't know about y'all. Had you heard of Compton before, Vague? Before Straight Outta Compton? What about you, Kelv?
Never heard of it in my life.
So I've never heard of this place called Compton. I listened to the album and it sounds very dangerous. And I'm like, but the most dangerous group has Jerry curls. Like, so when you go to this dangerous place, you're being robbed by niggas with Jerry curls. And as an East Coast person, that was hard for my brain to comprehend. Like, that I'm gonna get robbed by a nigga with a perm who gets their hair done with my mother. I couldn't put those two things together because it just didn't seem right and it didn't feel right. Again, I'm no way disrespecting the West Coast. I'm just explaining about the Jerry curl. Vague, who else you got next, man?
Shit, I had it. Damn, did I say all of mine? Well, I have one, Kill. You'll like this one. 3 times dope.
Which one?
That like fade with afro fucking globe on the side.
You talk about Chuck Nice, yeah.
Yeah, where I used to be like, oh, he got a Gumby. Wait a minute, what the fuck? He got a satchel on the fucking side of his. And you know what's crazy? Back in the days, I never really paid attention to it for some reason.
Oh
because,
my God.
I just looked at it like, oh, it's just a different style Gumby. But as I got older and I saw that video again, I was like, yo, I never noticed his shit was like rounded on the side. And it was uniquely him. But I was like, I don't know what that is. Like,
as soon as you said it, I'm like, Chuck Nice. I already knew where we was going. I already knew where this was going. Man, yeah. God bless Chuck Nice. Cal, who you got up next, bro?
You know, I'm seeing a pattern when you talk about West. I'm looking at all amount of West Coast people. So I got Ice-T. I couldn't take that damn ponytail. I don't know what was going on. I'm like, what is going on? What is going on? Just,
you know, the funny thing with Ice, somebody asked me, well, Kill, did you have a problem with Ice-T? And I was like, nah. And they was like, but he had a perm. But I think for me, what it was, the first time I saw Ice-T was 1984 and Breaking. And right. I'm 10 years old. I really don't have. At 1984, you were just happy to see hip hop anywhere that you could see it. You know what I mean? So people have to understand, we can't even see hip hop on MTV like that. So to be able to go to a movie theater and be able to see hip hop, Ice-T could have had a Jerry curl perm, and I would have thought that shit was crazy because I can't see this anywhere else. You know what I mean? Thank God that by the time we got to New Jack City, I don't think he had the perm no more, right? He had like dreads or something in New Jack City, right?
He for the movie he had locks, yeah, but I think he still kind of had a perm because I
Okay.
feel like early Law and Order days
He
he
still had
had
the
the
perm on
pony.
Law and Order?
I think he had
Oh,
the
okay.
ponytail. Yeah.
Okay. All
I
right.
think so too. I think so too.
So I just want to say that for people watching, like, damn, Kill, how you gonna shit on Quick, but you ain't shit on Ice Cube? You gotta remember, I saw Ice Cube when I was 10. I saw Quick when I was 16. I have a little more fashion sense now. I'm good. So I just want people to understand. You gotta look at the timeline sometimes to understand why things happen. You know what I mean? What are you saying, Veg?
I was gonna say too, it's like I think for me, like when you think about shit that Ice Cube was saying, like he was shitting on the Jerry curl, like he ain't just have one. So that that kind of ended it also, right? Like
Right.
he was basically shitting on it, and with
That's true.
Ice T, I don't know, cause like for him, it was almost like some pimp shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I almost never
Oh,
really looked at him any other way, and then to know that's basically what he was doing, it was kind of like, oh,
Right.
okay, well, yeah, that's because
That makes sense.
I think us on the East Coast, like you said, Kill, you see a perm, you like, who uncle is that or pops is or Kansas City Smack Man, but not no young nigga. Like, what y'all doing with Jerry Curl?
Right.
Like my uncle
Um,
wasn't him. So
damn, goddamn, okay. Next up, I got Nino Brown and New Jack City. I never felt the whole box flat back up to a box. Like, I just was like, yo, what is Wesley doing with this look? You know what I mean? Like, I just couldn't get with that joint, man. I don't know if it was too asymmetrical for me, but it was just like, dog, you got stair steps, like the stairway to heaven or something like that. So I never liked the Nino Brown joint up in there. Vay, you got any more bad joints left?
yeah, I could knock out a few. I mentioned ball heads earlier, and I know you would think, well, how can you fuck up a ball head? Birdman has fucked up a ball head because he has a big ass red star tattoo on the top of his head.
Right. Oh my
And
god.
I don't know how old he is. I don't care what tier of gang membership he is. It's just the worst.
What tier?
Yeah, I don't know what tier
That
that
nigga's on the
is.
upper echelon tier.
Right, like, hey, I paid my money. Motherfucker, I don't give a-
I paid my way.
But yeah, that big star on the head was crazy. I mentioned the Lil Wayne joint. Whack Flat Top. Speaking of Jerry Curl, fucking Full Force. I always used to be like, they got like
Oh, good boy. Oh, what was that?
ponytail, like they shag, like they had everything.
Jag. Heavy. Yeah. Oh,
Yo,
that was
good
work.
point, Vague. They got
Good one.
Jerry
That's good.
curls, shags, fades.
Fade.
They got
Pause.
they got every haircut that you can literally. That nigga went in the barbershop and said, "Give me 1 through 20 on the damn." That nigga said, for people watching, there used to be a chart in the barbershop where you could say, "Give me a number 5" or "Give me a number 1," or you used to have to go to a barbershop like that. Full Force just said, "You know what? Give us 1 through 20. Give all of us 1 through 20." Just at the same time, put the Jerry curl in while this nigga's fading me, and while you doing the hell, just do it all at the same time. Man.
That's a good one.
Full Force
Yeah.
is a good joint, man. It's a good joint.
Well,
Calv, you
more
oh yeah.
for the braids. This dude is infamous for his braids, and that's Jim Jones. The nigga looks like he gets his hair braided and then he brushes the shit.
Word.
I never understood that. Like, dog, how does your hair look unfresh like all the time? Like,
All the time.
I don't know. But rest in peace, ODB. At least his shit was done.
Yeah.
Yo, this nigga vague. Cal, who you got left up, bro?
I got 3 left. I got Hammer with the same thing. The I don't know what that was. It was like Jerry curl, but it was had parts on the side. had a taper. I was like, what's going on here? Um, so it was wild. I got Drew Down. Remember Drew Down?
Yes, I do.
Is something like this. His perm wasn't. It wasn't like a quick perm. It wasn't neat. I'm like, the whole point of the perm is supposed to be, polished. It was kind of just over. He was a pimp too, I guess. So it's part of that as well. And then I got Rage Afro Puffs. I never, you got salt and pepper, like you said, with the dope hairstyle. Light the Afro Puffs. I mean, obviously Rage is a dope MC, but yeah, the Afro Puffs.
Yeah, the Mickey Mouse John, the Mickey
Yeah, I
Mouse
was like, what is
Afro
it?
John. That ain't it. That ain't
Hey,
it.
man.
Y'all may remember this. This is two examples. It's not hip hop, but again, basketball synonymous to me with hip hop. When Carlos Boozer had Beijing
Oh man.
in his hair, I mean, the
Yeah.
entire head was just shining. And this is what lets me know deep down inside. I was telling somebody this at my job, like, if I don't need you to tell me something for me to see what's going on. Like, if Veg, if you own a Verizon store and you hire Kelv as your manager, but you still have to be there every day, you don't have to tell me Kelv ain't doing a good job. I know he's not doing a good job because you shouldn't have to be there every single day if he's your
Right.
manager. You should be able to just be home, whatever. This let me know Carlos Boozer has no one in his life who fucking loves him. You don't have to tell me that. You don't have to tell me you and your wife are beefing or you and your mom ain't speaking. Nobody loves you, my nigga, because they let you go out there on a basketball court in front of 20,000 people. And then there was a televised game to go out there with your head looking like that. Nigga, nobody loves this nigga. You know what I mean? If anybody out there watching see Carlos Boozer, get that nigga a pound and a hug because that nigga has not been loved in years because niggas let him go outside like that. One of my kids came in with Beijing once. We roasted this nigga so bad. This nigga just came from the barbershop, paid like $50 for that shit. We got on him so bad that nigga went home and washed his hair for hours to get that shit out to come back. That's how bad we roasted that nigga, man. Because we niggas and we make fun of anything. You know, I always tell, see, that's the problem with women. Y'all be like, oh, your hair look cute, girl. No, that shit look crazy. Why? Tell her that. Tell her. Is she your friend? Be like, no, what? Niggas gonna tell you. Niggas gonna be like, nigga, that's what you wearing tonight to the club? Nah, nigga. Get back. You ain't getting my car dressed like that, nigga. You ain't coming with me. Women would just be like, look at this outfit, and then keep it moving. And then this is the other person. I don't know if y'all remember this. This is my man, UConn alum, Karan Butler. There was an episode of NBA TV. He was on the night before, he had a bald head. The next day, he had a full head of hair. And it looked like a chia pet.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Just put in Karan Butler. Here's the thing I love about Google. People just need to ask Google what they really want. Like, there was this film. What was the movie? I literally couldn't remember this movie. I think it won an Oscar. It was about a lady with a creature like from the Black Lagoon. And I couldn't remember. And me and Tia trying to figure it out. And I'm like, she was like, what do you put in Google? I was like, I'm going to put in girl who was fucking the creature from the Black Lagoon. And it just came right up. You just ask Google what you want. So just put in Karan Butler, chia pet. I promise you it will come up. Because that's what it looked like. It looked like a chia pet was on his head. And he even said, like, you know, his nobody knew. Like, his wife didn't know. His kids didn't know. Like, they were like, why does daddy have hair? Like, what is going on? Like, he did this behind closed doors and, like, shocked everybody. So, see, this is the difference of Carlos Boozer. Like, this nigga, Karan Butler, has people who love him because they was like, yo, nigga, what are you doing? You can't premiere this haircut without checking in first, man. You know he talk about checking in when you get to LA? Nigga, you need to check in with your family before you decide to go through a midlife crisis and get a wig put on. You know what I mean? So that was another horrible, horrible, horrible haircut. Yo, Dope F, I'm trying to think, do you think any new styles will come back? You know how like stuff always comes back. Do you ever see the high top fade coming back? Do you ever see the salt and pepper asymmetrical? Do you see, because people always want to be like, oh, fashion just goes in a circle. And sometimes I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if flat tops are coming back or if Gumbies are coming back or Asa. Vivek, what do you think? Do you think any of these styles that we talked about are ever going to come back in style?
A few years ago, the flat top kind of creeped in a little bit because a couple of rappers did it, right? And a
I
couple
remember
of
Brandon Jennings, who was
Right, a
around
basketball
down
player.
Compton.
Yeah, yeah.
He
Yep.
had it, but this was in the All American game, so that had to be maybe even 15 years ago. But I was
15 years
shocked to see
ago.
that when he was in the McDonald's All American game with the high top. But I'm sorry, keep going, babe.
Yeah, yeah. I just remember like it didn't come back like in full force like it was when we had it, but I did see some kids kind of flirt with that style and thinking it was dope. But honestly, I don't think so because with fashion it depends, right? Some stuff you can kind of see it coming back, especially with the ladies. There's certain hairstyles and outfits that as time goes on, you see somebody young with it, and you're like, oh, that still looks good. But I think it's different for the fellas because when you think about flat tops, right? That didn't originate in the '80s, right? There were flat tops decades before, but it's synonymous with hip hop. So I could see it happening with certain styles. I don't think the Jerry curl. Don't you even try it? Like don't.
I still see it in the store though. If you want to buy some,
It's the
it's
Jerry
still in
curl.
stock.
But that's the wild part. I see it too, Calvin. I'm like, who's buying this? Like,
It's
why is
fine.
this still on the shelf? So somebody
Right.
must be buying it because people aren't going to keep ordering more Jerry Curl juice if nobody's buying it. But where's it going? Like
Somebody winning.
you can't walk into a toy store no more and buy a Cabbage Patch Kid. Nobody wants them anymore. Like, but if
Mhm.
somebody wanted them, they would be on the shelf. So somebody
Right.
on the low is still getting, somebody's great grandmom is still getting a Jerry curl because it's on the shelf. So
Right.
somebody got to be buying that shit. So I don't know. Cal, what do you think? Do you think any of these styles are coming back in?
I'm with Vig. I think the women hairstyles are more likely to come back, but the men, and it's something that you said before. You said it on Twitter a few times. Like, there's a lot of cats that can't cut hair, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's that.
You know, So I
That-
think that's part
That's
of
a very good point, Kel. I don't know if these new arts and craft barbers would even know how to cut a high top fade. To be honest
Right.
with you, Kel, I think these new school barbers, if you went in wanting Linden, they would draw it in your hair. They don't have the skills with the clippers to cut it. They literally would just be like, well, let me just Beijing it in, or let me just, right
Right.
on, right. Vegas, I'll draw your dollar sign on. So that's the other thing too. I don't know if these new barbers even have the skills to do some of the things that our barbers were able to do with clippers. Like, and there are some. I follow a rack of barbers on IG. I love haircuts. So I follow a rack of barbers, and some of them still do have, shout out to my man too, in Philly. Only nigga I trust to shape up my beard, one of the illest in Philly. He can still do all of that ill part shit. I don't
Yeah.
think the average barber nowadays can do that anymore because they weren't raised on that. They were raised to just, do fades, do temps, do Caesars. Like, that's it. Like, that's all they kind of do. I kind of compared to, like, y'all saw that movie Denzel with Flight. I think that's the name of it, where he's the pilot and he has to
He's
turn the
drunk?
plane upside down. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
drunk. To
Yeah.
me, like, the new school pilot wouldn't know how to do none of that shit.
No doubt.
The
Right.
old school pilot was like, nigga, dump the fuel, dump this, chill out, stop crying, like, because they know the old school way to do things. So I think
Yeah.
the way these barbers were like learned how to cut, there was a whole generation of barbers who learned how to do part art. Like, that was part of what they were, like, their foundation was that. Like, I tell people, Vague, it's gonna be a lot of people if these self-parking cars stop working. it's gonna be a lot of people where cars are just stuck in the middle of the street with a parking space right there because the people ain't even gonna know how to parallel park because they have no idea because the car is doing it for them. So I don't think these new school barbers would be able to do some of these cuts the way that the barbers we had would be able to do them. So I don't know if it's coming back because of that. Oh, another bad haircut. God bless the dead Coolio. Never could deal with the Coolio.
Terrible, terrible.
Never could do with the Coolio. God bless the dead. No West Coast slander, but Coolio. Now tell me this. We talked about why styles can't come back. Why do you think certain styles never went out? The bald head never went out. Cornrows never went out. Dreads never went out of style. What do you think it was about those haircuts and hairstyles that have just remained timeless throughout the years, whereas the other ones kind of fall off?
I think some of it is not to say that some of the hairstyles you just named aren't, but I feel like certain hairstyles, especially from the hip hop era, were so attached to the time. So it's almost like the Chris Rock skit, right? It's like, why does your father still have a flat top? Well, why not? But it's because we don't do that no more. That's what flat tops is for. So why do you still have one? But a bald head is always going to be in style because there's just some dudes who know, okay, I got the sunroof going in the front and the back. I don't want to be George Jefferson, so let me just cut it off.
Yep.
Right.
Locks, sometimes it's not even about the style. Sometimes it's attached to religion. Sometimes it's for women attached to not perming their hair no more and being natural and being able to style it. So I think it just depends. Or like with braids, right? You're growing your hair long. Maybe you don't want a lock. Like me, I don't want locks. But I can still grow my hair. So why not? But I don't want a big ass afro. I can't imagine being on Zoom meetings and I'm just like, "What's up? Good morning, everybody." Like, Steven,
Right.
fight the power. But I could see it being just that. Like some hairstyles are just so synonymous with a time and in a decade that people feel like, oh, that's dated until they can do it again. So
Right. That's a good point. Cal, what do you think? Why are these things never going out of style?
I think Walter Vegas' point, but also I think of ease. It's easy. Bald head, locks. I can rock this style for a minute. I can go city to city if I'm traveling too. So baldy is easy for people to cut. Locks easy to get. There's locks everywhere now. So I think people look at it for ease. I think of cost too. Not as costly as doing something really crazy, whatever. So I think people look at that as.
Kelvin, I don't know. Some of these locticians out here, my little sister got locks, and I swear she be paying $300 a month to get them things retwisted.
Oh damn!
Like that's why I was shouting out Canoe, because I'm like, yo, I don't know how this nigga locks look good all through college, and like you was just doing them yourself. You wasn't going to no loctician. That didn't exist fucking 20 years ago. So, and these locticians be booked. She can't even find one in New York. She got to travel from Harlem to Virginia.
I was going to say this one in Bowie that's killed. This one, they got 100 locticians in this one salon. 100. I'm gonna send you on IG. You can look at the. They got like a damn drone in there showing all the people in there, and it's 24 hours. It's open 24 hours a day.
Yo, that's crazy. My homegirl from the Bronx, when my sister was getting locks, I called her and she was like, yo, everybody I know is not taking no more. Like, they're booked.
Damn.
Like, they're not taking anybody else. Like, so that's the problem. So it ain't even because back in our day, somebody locked your hair and that was just it. You know what I mean? Like now, this ain't it no more. Like, you gotta do the upkeep, you gotta do this. And you know what the thing is, bro? I wonder if some of that shit is actually true. Because I see all these things on IG, like you want to grow a beard, you got to do this. They got some little thing that you be rolling, a little piece of plastic that you roll on your. There's so many things that people are like, oh, you do this to grow your beard, do that. And I'm telling niggas, you really don't. It's not that deep. You know what I mean? Like, but for somebody who can't grow it and who really wants one, they're gonna be trying 50, 60 different things to try to make it happen. So I really wonder, like, do you need a loctician to shape you up or get you right every month? Like, what does happen if you don't have that? Because a lot of people who had dope dread, I can't see DOS Effects going to a loctician in Brooklyn every fucking month.
Yeah.
Now
But
with the,
them dudes to me had perfect dreads. Like, they locks look crazy. They ain't look dirty or nasty or unkept. You know what I mean? So I don't know about the inexpensive of locks, because
No, you're probably right.
that now is a whole new thing, man. They be wanting people talking about $200 just for like a not a referral. What do they call it? Like when you come in just to sit down and talk to them, like about like okay,
Consultation?
yeah, consultation.
wow.
Damn, that's
You
crazy.
coming out your pocket with $200 for a consultation.
I stand corrected. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's why I had to stop going to the shorty out here for my beard, because just for her to shape up my beard was $100.
What?
No cut, no nothing,
But
just
damn.
just washing your beard, blow drying it out, and then shaping it up, $100. But shorty got the clientele. You know what I mean? So you could charge whatever people are gonna pay. It just don't feel right in my spirit to pay $100 to get my beard trimmed when I know I could go to Philly and my man too to take care of me for 30. You know what I mean? So, but it's cost and demand. It's like, yo, well, nigga, you driving all the way up to. That's why I had to just learn and start shaping it up myself. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I can't keep paying no $100. Like, I get it trimmed. I shape it up myself, but I get it trimmed like every quarter, like every season. I get it trimmed, but that's why I had to stop. Babe, what you gonna say?
I was going to say, just because we're on topic and we probably all have experiences, but what's an experience you had, going to the barber to get right, whether it was something special, regular haircut, that was bad? Because I had one and it was on the low. Like I think I was here I was in Baltimore. Like maybe one of the holidays I didn't go home because I was working, and I went to get my usual low cut Caesar. You know what I'm saying? And I've always had a hairline that was a little bit back, but when homie finished, I was like RoboCop with this shit. And I was looking like, you know how the haircut is going bad as you're getting your haircut, and you like,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna have to tell this nigga. So as soon as he was like, before he was getting ready to take the shit off, I was like, yo, give me a baldy, dog. Like, I'm gonna have to charge you twice, whatever. Give me a bald head. When niggas come back from Morgan, my shit will just be low. No one will see me.
Yo, so you've had a bald head before?
Yeah, when I was younger, I had a bald head. Quite briefly, but
Right.
that was one where I straight up ordered, like, nah. Trust me, cutting it all off is way better than not.
Yo,
Oh, my
like I'm sitting here thinking, like, I think the blessing I've never, but you know what the problem is, Veg? I've been cutting my own hair since 80, maybe 92. Like, since I went to more, I started cutting hair in 88. So like I think that's the thing. Like, I've always just cut my hair. I mean, there's been like little fuck ups, like, you know what I mean? Like, you push this back, but it was never so bad that I was like, oh, I gotta just cut it off and start over again. It's one of those things about me being a barber. I'm the only one who probably sees it. You know what I mean? Nobody else would even see it. But damn, I'm trying to think, like, was there really ever a time somebody, like, I'm blessed that I can say I don't think anybody ever fucked me up like that bad. Now I fucked myself up plenty of times.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah. Now, if we go back to '88 when I first started, oh God, Kel, you talk about Def Jeff, nigga. There was no fade because I didn't know how to put on the number one guard and fade, and then all. See, this is the thing for people watching. Y'all can go to YouTube now and learn how to do everything. There were no YouTubes. It was just, I'll never forget. My man, we all got clippers, and we was like, yo, we gonna cut hair. My man Ira Bond was cutting my man Ahmed's hair in my kitchen, and he's cutting, and we talking and we laughing, and he just stops, and he puts the clippers down, and this nigga runs the fuck out my house.
Oh, damn.
Yo, he twisted him up so bad in the back. But I remember this is like just cut, like do, and just stopped and just looked and put the clippers down and ran out my house. Didn't walk. I mean, the nigga ran out my house, left my front door open, and he lived around the corner from me and ran all the way home. That was how bad. But yeah, I mean, Vague, I have pictures. I'll send y'all some like of my high school graduation pictures. It looks fucked up. I don't know how this even happened because I wasn't never good at fading into the high top. Like, you know what I mean? Now, once we cut it off and got dark, in Philly we called them dark fades. Y'all call them Caesars.
Yeah,
once we got that, then it was good. Then it was like cool. You just put number one guard on, just go around. Everything is even, no fading, no nothing. Then it was good. But yeah, prior to that style, oh yeah, Vague. There was, I don't even know why. I'm sure people was roasting me. Like it was bad. It was bad. Kel, what about you? You ever got a fucked up cut?
Oh, of course. You know, I'm sure, you know, growing up, you go to the barbershop and, you know, your barber that you normally get your hair cut is there or not there. So you like, you know, and I'm sure Jay can relate to, Kel. You know, there's always somebody, you know, who's a popular barber and they got all the clients and they're dope. And then there's someone that don't have no clients. Their chair's always empty. And so I'm like, all right, my man Ernie, rest in peace. He got killed in a car in a bike accident. But cut my hair. And even when he was cutting, he was always talking to girls, playing CeeLo. So he was never really working. So, but his chair, he wasn't there. So I'm like, all right, I need a haircut. And this dude is sitting there like, my chair's open. I'm like, ain't no one going to this chair. Barbershop's crowded.
Yo, here's the thing, Cal, for 1 second. Why is that always a barber? Why? Why is he allowed to cut hair and nobody goes to him?
True, you know what I mean?
This is in every black community across the country. Like, do you just pay your chair rent just for the fuck of it, just to say I got a job? Like nobody goes to you, my nigga. I'm sorry, keep going, man. It just made me think like there's always that one barber who is like begging you to sit in his chair. Begging. He's cutting. He's getting a fade, and he's cutting. Then he pull out a straight razor, and he starts cutting again. And then he pull out the fade. Then he's like I'm in the chair for like an hour and change, and I'm like, this ain't going right. But I didn't do like that. I should have done like Vegas and got a baldy. I was like, I guess I'm going to rock a hat for the next month or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So the fade was all the way up towards, you know, pretty much in my, you know, where my high top was at. I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah. You know what, Vague? Now that I'm thinking, I got fucked up recently because, again, I can't fade the back of my hair, like fading the back out.
Yeah.
So I went to this barbershop around the corner. And, you know, I was like, yo, I just want the back faded. They like, that's all you want? I'm like, yeah, just fade the back. That's it. Like, this is barbering 101. You know what I mean? I can fade other people's hair. I just can't do it to myself or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, just bang it out. Yo, Vague, I got home and looked in the mirror and I had to go to another barbershop. I had to go to 2 different barbershops in the same day just to be like, can you fix this? You know what I mean? So that would be the last time that my hair got fucked up. And I'm like, yo, it's just fading out the back. That's all I'm asking for. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. One of my favorite books, No Half Stepping, done by Paradise Gray, all about the Latin Quarter's infamous club in New York. Here's a picture, Kelv. I don't know if anybody has ever seen that. Kid and Play. That's Kid without a high top fade.
Wow, I've never seen that. And I got that book. I guess I haven't got to that page, but yeah, look at that. Wow.
He has a mustache. Like, when have you ever seen Kid from Kid and Play with a
With a
mustache? It don't even look
Nope.
right.
No,
Oh,
no.
you want to talk about bad haircuts? Kid from Kid and Play right now. I don't know what he has, what's going
Yo,
on, but
what is going
there,
on?
there's there is your bad haircut right there.
No
I don't
doubt.
know. It's like a fade, curl. I don't know what's going on. So
Word.
definitely, you know what I mean? And you can see Chris Rock on the cover with a Jerry curl too. So, you know what I mean? You got that too. Um, and another dope book is not about hair, but Fresh, Fresh, Fly, and Fabulous. Very dope book of hip hop fashion. So a lot of what we're talking about with the gold chains and everything that was going on, it was a whole piece put together. Cal, where can they get at you, good brother?
On IG, Big Cal, or around Morgan's campus if you want to find me.
Yo, that's the truth, bro. How we looking for enrollment this semester? I know you know the numbers. What we doing?
It's great. It's beyond crazy. 2,800 incoming most freshman class in Morgan history. We're the third largest HBCU, 11,000. And
Yo,
one
we're the third
HBCU,
large.
we're the third largest HBCU in the country. Yeah.
Here's the funny thing. Somebody thought I was playing and Kel wasn't gonna know these stats. That's the funny part. I knew the nigga knew the stats. This wasn't no joke. I dead ass knew he knew the incoming number. So we're the third largest. So who's ahead of us?
North Carolina A&T and Howard. But we're
Okay.
gonna pass if we build these two dorms, or three new dorms. OC's getting torn down.
Oh,
Um,
what?
yeah, OC's getting torn down. They're making a 8-story dorm now, so it's gonna be 8 floors. And then Harper Tubman is gonna they just gutted that, so it's gonna be they're gonna redo that. So with those two, and I think they're getting ready to do the new building, as we used to call it. I think it was New Orleans. They're
Right.
getting ready to cut that in a couple of years and stuff like that. So it's talking probably been, I would say by 2030. By 2030, it's more than probably like 13 to 14,000 students. It's probably gonna be number one. It's gonna be number one. It's crazy.
That's crazy, man. That's
Crazy.
crazy. 2,800 incoming freshmen.
2,800 incoming freshmen. I'm like, when we were in school, it was 4,000. I think it was 4,600 was the total population. So
Yeah, because I was just about to ask when we came in '92, like what was our incoming class?
yeah,
like?
I think it was like 700.
Wow,
Yeah, it was 700. Yeah, it was much smaller.
that's crazy. I don't know. How do you feel about that? I don't know if I like that. Like that's too many
Yeah.
fucking people. Like
A lot of people are kind of mixed between it, depending on if they're the lower end standards and stuff like that. So, I mean, I think it's if you can handle it, and obviously right now they can't handle it. The housing is crazy. So it's they're renting, they're doing cutting leases with hotels and
and see
apartment
that to
complex.
me is whack because I know they was doing that with Towson. There was Morgan kids staying like out at
Oh yeah,
Towson.
like Chris' son is that
Yeah,
is up
yeah.
right? Yeah, exactly, 1,000. So yeah, a lot of
Because
people
is
mad about
Cummings done yet? Is Cummings done?
Cummins and Baldwin are both done. They're dope.
Okay.
They're dope.
They're
I
dope?
said they're dope. Yeah, Baldwin don't even look nothing like when you were there. Look, it's dope.
Wow.
Um,
wow.
So I mean, I think it's mixed. I think it's mixed on if they can handle it. I think they capped it this year, even 2,800. They were like, we can't allow any more students in. We gotta cap the number. It's too much because people are still coming. We go to these college fairs. The line of kids trying to talk to people. It's embarrassing when they put us next to Coppin and they put us next to Dell State, and nobody's at their table. Everybody's at Morgan's. It was crazy.
Wow.
Everybody wants to come to Morgan. It's crazy. Yeah,
That's
so
dope.
real talk.
That's dope.
No, it's
That's
dope.
dope.
It's dope.
I just feel like part of the college process is living on campus. So I mean, there's
I
no
agree with you.
fun
Yeah.
in having to
Yeah.
live in a hotel room. I don't get to hang up no post. Well, no, this how old
Yeah.
we are. I'm talking about hanging up posters. Don't
Oh.
nobody even have posters anymore. But
Now what?
you don't
Yeah.
you don't get to be on campus. You don't get to have a dorm room. You don't get to just
Yeah.
walk out your dorm and walk to class or walk to a party. Like I got to get on a shuttle bus to bring me from Towson, Maryland, all the way over here to the east side. I can't stay late because now I got to get back. You know what I mean?
And to to your point, I think we'll probably have that discussion soon. What they're gonna do because they're getting ready to tear down the not tear down, but they're about to build a new science building.
Okay.
So the old science building, I don't know what they're gonna do with that. So that could be doing the where Montebello is, where of course
Right.
you go out. That could be doing. So I don't know what the plan is for those. Like you said, have the experience about being on campus. And I think a lot of parents they want that. They don't want their kids down in housing or what. They're renting apartments down in downtown Baltimore where kids are staying at there too. So yeah, way away from campus. But they bought Lake Clifton High School too. So that's going to be part of the. Lake Clifton went out of business. Their school closed.
Oh,
So
I didn't know that.
Wow.
yeah, Lake Clifton closed. Morgan bought that lot. They bought the whole school.
That's
So
a
about to cut it.
big lot. That's a
Big, yeah, exactly right. It's a big lot. Yeah, so they're about to gut that probably early, I think next year.
The sad part is that half of these things, like Chris's son, will he even be back on campus by the time he graduates? Like half
Nope.
these things won't even be
I don't think
completed
so. Yeah, it
till
won't.
like somebody who's a sophomore in high school right now. So
That's
like in
true.
3
Yep.
years, then they'll be able to get it. But
Yeah.
the kids that's there. But again, hey, anybody watching, your kids want to go to Morgan, that's who you need to get in contact with because he's gonna probably be able to find your kid before you can find your kid. So yeah, he probably can. Vay, give them all the information, bro. Where can they get at you?
All right, you can follow me on social media at Vegas World INC. Check out my podcast on YouTube, Hip Hop Now Podcast, News and Perspectives. I just put out a review of Nas performing Illmatic with an orchestra in Philly, which was dope. Dope experience, especially because it was free. You enjoy yourself a little bit more when it's free. It was like, oh yeah, I like this song. Like everything is better, But yeah, and for me, that was my first time seeing Nas perform. So for the first 20 minutes was surreal because I'm
right.
still being on stage. I'm sitting there
Right.
Skill. It's right there.
Right.
But after a while, I kind of settled in, so it was pretty dope.
That's dope. You already know what it is. Me, Kill 889 Twitter, IG. I will check y'all next week, good peoples.